Hello, TGM 530 teammates. My name is Kenneth, and I'm here presented today on behalf of Mystique Consulting. This is the GTT Travel Consulting Plan. This plan was presented to you today by Gatsway Dorla, Gautami Priyanka, Chan Young Wang, and me, Kenneth Montijo. Moving on to the travel guide. So today, these are the main topics that we will be presenting. We have the global travel and tourism in Australia. We'll be talking about statistics and numbers there. Then we'll be introducing Sakura Watanabe and her persona. We'll then be talking about the customer journey map, the business journey map, and lastly, we'll be making some recommendations for GTT to improve its services. Global travel trend. This is a graph that we pulled up from IBIS World, and it shows up the profit and revenue from the international travel industry. And as you can see, in approximately 2020, there was 315 billion in profits to be made in this industry. So it's a very enticing industry, and the slope just keeps on going up. So it means that in the future, if you play your cards right, you'll even be making more money. Next, we want to talk about visiting Australia. Overall, in 2019, Australia received approximately 9.4 million tourists. And the top 6 countries from where those tourists originated from were China, New Zealand, United States, United Kingdom, Japan, and lastly, Singapore. And here we have a lovely tableau graph made by my team members demonstrating these countries. Next, we want to talk about the Japanese tourists. So in 2019, approximately 498,000 Japanese tourists went down to the land of Down Under. And the reasons for visiting were holiday, business, visiting friends and families, and education. As well, we wanted to take a look at the popular cities where they traveled to in Australia. And predominantly, it was Sydney, of course, and then the North Queensland region and Melbourne. And here we have a graph that we made from the Australian government data provided to us. So as we can see, approximately 71% of these travelers are coming to Australia for holiday and relaxation purposes. And here we also have a tableau graph that we made. And this just shows the amount of tourists that have been visiting Australia since 2014. And this data was also pulled from the Australian government. And as you can see, the slope is increasing almost every single year, with an average of almost 416,000 travelers yearly. So you might say, why Japanese tourists in Australia? Why do they matter if there's only so few of them probably going when compared to other countries? Well, we wanted to take a look at their expenditure. And on their expenditure, it's approximately 2.1 billion Australian dollars yearly that Australia receives from these tourists. And some of the notable segments where they spend are food and accommodation, 42 million, shopping, 10 million, tours and transport, 46 million. And the average vacation cost for every single Japanese tourist is 3,300 Australian dollars. And here we have a graph. We pulled this one directly from the Australian government tourist data. We just didn't want to adapt it or change it. And as you can see, Japan is the golden color. And even though they're 1/3 of Chinese travelers in the food and drink and accommodation, they almost are up par to what they spend on a yearly basis, as well as in shopping, as well as in tours and transport. They're the second highest spenders in that segment. Next, we want to talk about our persona. And let me introduce to you to Sakura Watanabe, a graduate student from Tokyo, Japan. As I mentioned, she lives in Tokyo, Japan with her parents still in the trendy district of Shibuya. And she enjoys painting, art, and hanging out with her social circle friends, and also exploring new art mediums and just attending house parties like any regular 20-something does. And she does have a prominent social media presence with approximately 3,700 followers in both Twitter and Instagram. And currently she's pursuing a law and politics degree at the University of Tokyo. Some of her notable quotes would be, "I hope my friends and family members like the pictures I take on vacation, and it's so much fun hanging out with my Australian peeps." And now we want to focus on what can GTT do to attract somebody like Sakura. So GTT needs to target Sakura's interest on social media. Primarily, she'll be lured to Australia by ads and videos displaying the cool factors, such as the underground art galleries, the bars, the nightclubs, and the unique tourist attractions. Some common objections that we thought about is that GTT is a foreign company and she may prefer a national Japanese travel firm. GTT must also focus on translating all the pertinent travel documents and itinerary paperwork in the Japanese language to make sure there's no confusion with the customer. Lastly, the travel itinerary must contain a perfect balance between trendy and popular activities and personal relaxation so that the customer is attracted by the offering that you have to provide to them. A day in the life. So a typical day for Sakura, what would that consist of? We asked ourselves and we mapped it out here. First, she gets up, she gets ready to go to school. Then she goes to her local metro station where she has her 40-minute commute to school. Once she gets there, she has about 4 hours of classes that she must attend. And once class is over, she gets back up on the train where she continues interacting with her friends through social media and texting like any regular young adult does. In the evenings, she likes to attend shabu parties where she gets to interact, drink some beer, and enjoy some yummy food with her friends. Or if not, she can also hang out, play video games with them into late hours of the night. The customer business journey map of Sakura's scenario. So first, we want to talk about the focus. She'll be traveling the world to see art and fashion shows with friends, which is a lifetime privilege for her, and she acknowledges this. And then we have the destination. So primarily, she'll be going to Sydney, Australia. And Sydney is known for the fashion and art places like Akubra, Alice McCaw, and the National Gallery of Australia as well has some prominent displays. And the reason for traveling, she has a passion for art and fashion, as we've mentioned, and some of her favorite art places in the world are in Australia. She also loves fun activities, so she likes to go out exploring the wilderness and the nature. And Australia offers that fine balance between city and nature life. And lastly, the endemic species of Australia also attract her in as well. Travel habits. She loves to have her friends travel with her. She loves taking pictures of her friends and family while she's traveling. And she's what's considered an Insta-bae, somebody that shows that perfect quintessential lifestyle on Instagram for everybody to admire. Research and planning for travel. So the channels that GTT will follow. They'll implement ads from her computer games, recommendations from close friends, travel enthusiasts on social media, and YouTube videos from Japanese vlogger, vacation YouTubers, and then worries. So we have worries from her are missing flights, canceled plans, budget constraints, and transportation within Australia not being properly arranged. Delights, fashion and arts, of course, swimming in the amazing pristine beaches that Australia has to offer, and chilling, just sunbathing pretty much, and Instagramming pictures, of course, throughout the whole process. Feedback. Overall, the customer is feeling good about making her family happy and spending time with her friends during her travel. Shopping and selecting. So shopping interests. Sakura is not too concerned about prices, but she's more concerned about on-time departure and arrival, as those are crucial in her culture. Worries. Sakura is concerned about not finding a direct flight that fits her schedule. She also has a concern that any unforeseen fees showing up on her credit cards or steeper prices than she initially anticipated or expected while making her travel plans. Delights, the opportunity to interact and meet people from a different country in unique scenarios, having the awesome privilege of interacting with the endemic species of Australia, such as the koalas, the kangaroos. Feedback. Overall, she's feeling good and excited about her search for flights that fit her expectations that she set up for herself. And she does have a little concern that she might not have the same experience as advertised, but GTT will make everything to make sure that doesn't happen. Travel, actions while traveling. So she would like to keep a hard copy to ensure that her favorite playlist is on hand while traveling to enjoy the experience. She'll be searching for Reddit for the best underrated eating restaurants in Sydney, and also she'll be looking up any experiences that might have not been advertised by GTT. Her worries. She's worried about not being able to fully comprehend the signs or the hosts when they communicate with her in a foreign language, and also the potential for changes in itinerary that might have been unforeseen. Delights. She enjoys free upgrades in traveling. Who doesn't? Amenities or accommodations. And she also wants to be enjoying music. So she would like a recommendation of some Australian bands or something that she might have never heard of in the past. Feedback. Overall, the customer can't wait to receive her travel details and get on the flight and get that part of her trip over with and get her feet on the ground. Post travel actions. Of course, this involves sharing memories and experiences with her friends through conversations in person and social media as well, and praising the top notch service and punctuality that GTT provided to her. Some of her worries are that she is concerned that her friends and family will be oblivious to Australian adventures and not commenting on it, not asking her about it. She's also worried about the adjustment period of routine life back in Tokyo, getting used to all that hustle and bustle after being away. And delights, being the envy of all her friends from posting tourist pictures, especially one with the koala on her shoulder. She also appreciates the well-being call she got from GTT after being home for a few weeks, just to make sure that she was doing fine. Nothing else. Feedback. Overall, the customer can't wait to plan her next trip to Australia as she gained positive experiences with GTT. That is crucial. This is Journey Map from GTT. This is Sakura's research and planning for travel. So the channels, GTT will make themselves aware to Sakura through a digital format using social media ads and micro-influencer partnerships. The goals here are to increase in interest from college students such as Sakura, and as well as greater usage and awareness of the GTT website and app. The data that is needed, we should monitor the GTT website traffic and the interaction that the users have with it, along with the app that is downloaded. Data. And the KPIs that are important are percentage of ads consumption, number of visitors to the GTT Travel website, and as well as their interaction percentage, and the number of quality leads that we get from that, since this will determine our customer acquisition cost. Shopping and selecting. So the consideration, GTT will provide a tailored guide for young travelers seeking adventure. There will also be a hotline attended by a 24/7 concierge should they ever have any problems or any other questions. And then the goals here for GTT are to increase the customer awareness of the tourist package. And GTT will also have opportunities to sell extra add-ons to customers here and rake in some extra profit. The data that is needed, we of course need clickstream data and profiling data. It will be crucial to have this just to make sure that a potential customer falls within the target demographic. We'll also be needing to monitor social media to gauge the interest of potential customers with Australia. And the KPIs, of course, are the percentage of social media engagement, number of social media likes, and percentage of time on site. Travel actions here. Ensure the customer has the GTT app installed in their phone so that they may take advantage of the augmented reality opportunities that come tailored in with the itinerary. And the goals here, success during the travel phase will rely on increased customer satisfaction and awareness of all the planned events in the itinerary. The data that is needed for this, of course, will be, in this stage, we'll be focusing on tracking the customer and their spending habits, movement while they're in the country, and their location data of where they're going to, and their social media interaction overall, how they're exploring themselves, and also how they're tweeting or messaging to their friends about their experience to see if it's positive or negative. That we can get a gauge from that. And the KPIs, this is probably the most KPI intensive one. We want the customer acquisition cost, of course, percentage app downloads and engagement, number of successfully itinerary package add-ons, percentage of time on hold while calling concierge, percentage of time with customer service, percentage of time with the GTT app, and percentage of time on social media. And of course, the number of social media likes and interactions that she receives from the vacation package. Post-travel actions. Share her Australian experience to friends and family through social media and conversations. GTT will also provide a membership to its travel newsletter for Sakura to explore any future packages that it might offer. Goals. Should GTT succeed, it will experience an increase in customer retention and see a rise of visits in its website and app. The data that is needed for this is to gauge the overall satisfaction of the customer. The social media interaction of them commenting and liking the travel itinerary will be high priority for GTT. Some of the KPIs here are the percentage of that will recommend to friends and family, the number of social media likes and posts, including GTT Travel itinerary, the number of trials and demo requests, and the percentage of repeat customer. Recommendations. So lastly, we want to provide a list of recommendations that we have for GTT here at Mystique. The first one is we would encourage them to develop an app with augmented reality capabilities to enhance the overall experience of the customer. And then they must also develop and keep a data pool of potential clients on the back burner. It must also train and maintain a highly interactive concierge service to make those upsells. It must also maintain a multifaceted contact approach with the customers through different touch points before, during, and after their vacations. It must lastly maintain strong relationships with customers through monthly travel guide. That way you can introduce them to future travel packages and make them repeat customers. Moving along with the recommendations, we encourage them to form partnerships with social media micro-influencers in Japan, specifically in the video gaming YouTube scene, and also travel enthusiasts who share their pictures as well. And then we also would like to provide guidance through maps and regular updates of various places to the customers while they're traveling. And then we would also encourage them to send constant reminder and discounts of upcoming art and fashion events happening in Australia. That way we can provide the fear of FOMO with the possible clients and encourage them to come back once more. And lastly, implement a reward system to make seat upgrades easy and also to provide them free goodies and increase the overall value that the customer gets out of the trip. And my friends, that is all today. Thank you so much for listening to me. Take care. All right, I did that in one go. My throat is like, how long was that? I think that was way longer than 12 minutes.